The worst Southern Christian is better than the most puritanical Northern Muslim for Senate President now, Shettima says. Can you imagine? So what Shettima is saying is that the worst Southern Christian is better than the most puritanical Northern Muslim for Senate President right now. So where is he driving to, and why is he saying this? Let's hear and let's see what he has to say. Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that the worst Southern Christian is preferable to the most pious Northern Muslim as Nigeria's Senate President based on the current Muslim ticket presidency. Can you imagine? He thus said he was ready to go on his knees to beg the incoming senators to give Senator Godswill Akpabio, APC Akwa Ibom, and Senator Burau Jibrin, APC Kano, opportunity to lead the 10th Assembly. Shettima said this at an interaction with senators across party lines held in Abuja. I am ready to kneel down and beg my colleagues for the sake of the nation. This is for the survival of this nation. Can you imagine? Here we are with a Muslim president and Muslim vice president in a multi-ethnic, multi-religious polity like ours. Now, number one, and then number two, all of the same faith for God's sake. Under the current dispensation, the worst, the most incompetent Southern Christian is better than the most puritanical Northern Muslim for the presidency of the Senate, he said. Shettima added, equity, justice, and fairness demands that the number 3 citizens of this country should be a Christian, not be only. There is something cooking between Akpabio and all of them. They know themselves. They know themselves. They know why they are fighting for each other. The truth remains that whether they give the Speaker of the House of Rep and Senate President to the South, see Muslim ticket at presidency is still a no-no. It's still not acceptable. Because look at what El-Rufai is talking about it. That is to tell you there is a very cynical agenda behind it. And only God will expose them. What binds us together supersedes whatever divides us. But most importantly, we should make deliberate effort to take inclusivity in governance. You cannot come here to pretend to be a saint after fraudulently getting to power. That is my own statement for Shettima. Shettima cannot, and Tinubu cannot come and form legit here. All the outsiders have seen that they are in power, and that is exactly why, the reason why El-Rufai is boldly saying that the Muslim ticket has entrenched Islamic dominance in Nigerian politics and in Nigerian government, and is going to be for 20 years or more. So Shettima should. This is just a cheap appeal to the sense of Christians in Nigeria, and it's obviously not acceptable. That is the truth. So, and he is saying this is a young nation where every community will like to have fair representation on the dinner table of their kinsmen. Not really. What are you talking about here? It's only the North that goes to their kinsmen for dinner table, or go to their allergies for dinner. We are not interested. We don't do that here. Okay. You cannot come here and form legit for us. Meanwhile, Nigeria is not a young nation. A man that was born 1960 today is 62 to 63 years old. Can you say that man is a young man? It's never a young man. Okay, so Nigeria is not a young nation. We just choose, Nigeria is just in the state it is because of fraudulent leaders right from the time of independence. Okay, it's only the bad leaders in Nigeria that have brought Nigeria to such a sorry state that it is today. Nigeria is not a young nation. Politics is about perception. Politics is about optics. I want to appeal to you. I want to appeal to your conscience. Now, they can appeal to themselves just because they have won now illegally and fraudulently won the election. Now they are sharing the national positions among themselves, and they are appealing to each other so they don't end up spilling the beans. Because Akpabio has a lot of information, especially as the ex Niger Delta, what do they call them? Ex administrator or the DG of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Quite unfortunate. They know what they did with him because everybody's attention from north to south is on the southern oil. And for Akpabio to be there, and Akpabio is somebody that keeps a lot of record, they know what they did and he has all of them in his hand. And if they don't give him what he wants, he will spill the beans. That is it. And that's why some of them are begging to see how they can satisfy him and cool him down. The stability and inclusivity and togetherness of this nation supersedes the depth of our pockets, stability of our pockets. Can you imagine? Who are you? Here are you talking now like a very sensible person. Meanwhile, you have fraudulently and violently declared yourself winners through the use of the INEC chairman. All these ones, you can only appeal to yourselves among the snakes, like he's saying, but not to Nigerians. Not to Nigerians at all. We are talking about the sustainability of the nation. The nation is in crossroad. How did it come to crossroad? You should be able to explain that. APC should explain that. Also speaking, Senator Ali Ndume, APC Boronu, said that the stability group had 73 persons who had signed for the Akpabio and Barrow ticket. We are working very hard to support you in your cause for the stability of this country. We have committed ourselves to your administration alongside President Bola Tinubu to ensure the stability of Nigeria. Can you imagine? The last time we had a meeting with the lawmakers elect across party lines, the president shook hands with each one of us and called us by our native names. This is one administration that will not only be people-oriented but also close to the grassroots, he said. Now lie. Grassroots to the touts. That is what they're doing, and not to the whole of Nigerians. Well, this current government is not the aspiration of Nigerians at all, and will never appeal to the aspiration of Nigerians. He added, so far, the decisions that are coming out are those that will strengthen Nigeria. We will see Nigeria change before our very eyes, and we are committed to being a part of that change. We assure you not just of our loyalty, but the stability of the parliament. So what changed? The change that Buhari planned and it never worked. The change? The news agency of Nigeria reports that similarly Jibrin said, I must begin by taking His Excellency the Vice President for his uncommon commitment to the actualization of all those that have been endorsed by the party to preside over the two chambers of the National Assembly. Your commitment is not to us as persons, it is to the stability and peaceful coexistence of the people and indeed the progress of this nation. They are just talking to themselves. These are just collective group of selfish people that got to power through fraudulent and violent means. That is the truth. They are now sharing the national position among themselves and they are appealing to themselves to have peace. This is just the case of armed robbers after cooperating to loot. When it is time to share the loot, it becomes a war because then everybody will begin to enumerate his contribution during the looting. Okay, this is exactly the same thing in relation to robbery people. Armed robbers, when they steal, they unite enough to steal successfully. After stealing, when it is time to share the loot, that is when they fight. That is what is happening right now in instituting this 10th National Assembly. Let them fight and God will expose their secret one after the other. Okay. So there are so many comments here, but may not be able to take all of them. Someone say, please, sir, just campaign for your candidate. There was a time in our great country when President, Senate President, Deputy Senate President, Speaker of the House of Reps, Chief Justice of Nigeria, SGF, and security apparatus were all Christians. We didn't kill ourselves. Can you imagine? This is Abdul Sule. This is what he's saying. So now it is time for Muslims to take all position. Is that what you are saying? And at what time was it when everybody was a Christian and we didn't kill ourselves? So please remind those names if you don't mind, and even the time. Yes. So let us know those names that were all Christians occupying all key positions and the time they did, so that we know exactly what we are talking about. Don't just talk off head in assumption. Eh? There was never a time like that, Sule, okay? And somebody's already letting him know that there was never a time like that. So don't just say that. I respect this man and you are a leader with proven evidence. God bless Shettima. God bless Nigeria. See, sycophant speaking there. That was a sycophant speaking there. Another person is replying to him saying, you respect nonsense. When he accepted to be Tinubu's vice president, he had no consideration for the unity of this country. His comment is self-serving and nothing else. And exactly what I'll say. Shettima is trying to satisfy his selfish interest. When he saw that president and vice president cannot be Muslim, he did not see inclusivity in Nigerian politics as at that time. Now that they are fraudulently and violently won election, he's seen inclusivity and unity of Nigeria. Who are they deceiving? They are only deceiving themselves.